So I want to talk a little bit today about why is it so hard for people to change their mind when it comes to their beliefs? We know for thousands of years that we've had illogical belief systems on this planet about reality, that once we presented scientific facts for it, that we have discovered that these things may not actually be true. For example, we believe that the world was flat, okay? I don't think that was because we were stupid or anything. When we look up and we see the sun, it looks like the sun is actually setting and rising, okay? We've also believed that we were the center of the universe. There were stories, especially in Christianity, that told us that these beliefs about reality were true. And when people try to present scientific evidence at first, people were very reluctant to hear it because they were so entrenched in their belief systems. So what stopped them from actually seeing the true evidence? I'll give you another example. I live in Sedona, Arizona, and we're the spiritual mecca capital of the world, okay? There's very few people that are skeptical against most spirituality claims like I am, okay? When I first came to Sedona, I considered myself to be a spiritual person. But the longer I've been here, I realize a lot of the claims that they make here in Sedona may not be correct. One of them is the vortexes here. Okay, people always claim that there's these energy fields and vortex, but no one can actually provide any actual evidence. And I've been out many, many times. I've looked for these vortexes, looked for any evidence, and most people can't provide them. It's all in people's minds because no one knows exactly where a real actual vortex actually is or what it would actually do. There's just a lot of claims for it. Another big thing out here that people believe in are chemtrails. Okay, I know a lot of people in the world that believe in chemtrails. No matter how much you try to support the evidence to say that what they're looking at in the air are just water vapors that hang in the air like clouds, no matter how much evidence you support to debunk their claims, they're still entrenched in their beliefs. So the question I have is that what makes people not want to change their mind? Well, beliefs are basically a set of data information that we have that basically allows us to understand the actual real world and what we believe about it. And if you think that you're a piece of shit because your entire life people have neglected you, have told you you're a piece of shit, you've been rejected, you're going to believe that the world is a shitty place. You're going to be angry about the actual world. You're going to believe through these lenses of these eyes. And even when people try to tell you something different, it's hard for you to change your mind. You can have a sports team you really, really like, okay, and be like, well, I don't like that other sports team. I believe that I'm right for this sports team, and criticize, like if you're at a football game, right? You see somebody with a different jersey down at the bottom of the stadium, you might all yell at and scream at that guy. Well, he's just wearing a different jersey. It's just a different football team. It has nothing to do with you. And the problem is we think these beliefs are us. We think, okay, well, I believe in God, I'm a Christian, they're attacking me. Personally, they're attacking me. But the real reality is that your belief system is being attacked, not you. Just because you're a spiritual person, just because you're a Christian, doesn't mean you're still not a good dad, or you're still not a good auto mechanic, or you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we see people acting stupid and saying stupid things, and that's when we attack the people. So for example, it's one thing if you want to believe in God, right? And understand, are my beliefs true? It's another thing to demean gay people or minorities or women, okay? Which that actually gives you bad character in yourself because of your beliefs. And a lot of people think that their beliefs are harmless. Like, well, I just believe what I believe. But you don't get that you don't live in a bubble. This isn't a vacuum. Your actions dictate how the rest of us interact with you and how you interact with us. We have to all live together on this planet. We all have to come up with a system that works best for this planet. And if your beliefs are entrenched in causing more suffering, or your beliefs are even entrenched in causing you more suffering, or you not being able to solve your problems, then that's a problem. And we're problem-solving creatures. We want to understand, why do we suffer? Why do we feel pain? Why are there problems? There's already a lot in this world that we don't have a lot of control over, which creates a lot of anxiety in our lives. So when we create belief systems that we think solve those problems, especially when those belief systems may not be correct, we're actually creating more problems and we're not solving the actual problems. So you have to ask yourself, what is it about my belief system? Why do I believe what it is I believe, truly? Because a lot of people say, well, it's my gut, it's my emotion, but that's not always an actual indication to something to being true. And you have to understand that. If this is my belief system, how could I be wrong about it? If you're not willing to change your mind, why are you not willing to change your mind? What is it that you're afraid of? There's an emotional underpinning of belief that goes underneath of that to ask yourself, what stops me from changing my mind? Would I be, me personally, would I be willing to change my mind if I have enough sufficient evidence? Yes, and I've said this many times. I used to be a believer. I used to have a spiritual belief. It's not like I can't go back to that if someone proved to me that it was correct, okay? And if you found out that there was an afterlife, or there was a God, or a heaven, or a metaphysics, or the law of attraction, whatever, I'm not gonna lose any sleep because you're correct. I think it would be awesome to find out something. But so far, after asking a lot of questions, a lot of people don't present enough evidence to believe it. And when you're provided counter evidence to show that this may not be a correct belief system, what stops you from changing your mind? What stops you really, truly from saying, okay, objectively, I need to look at this evidence to see whether or not it's correct? We all have cognitive biases. Biases are important in our lives. We'd rather have comfort than pain. We'd rather be happy than sad, okay? But sometimes those biases stop us from seeing reality. This is how politics gets away with doing what it's doing and convincing us that we should hate each other or hate other countries, okay? The reality is that we've been ingrained with these biases, and it takes us a little bit of time to stop thinking emotionally about it and look a little past further and think critically about it, okay? And thinking really objectively, why do I really feel this way? And how come I really don't change my mind when the facts are presented to me? What stops me from doing it? So ask yourself that when you have a belief system, whether it's spiritual, whether it's religious, or whether it's just about your mental state, if you have a mental illness, you know, when you have things that you believe about yourself, about your self-worth, your self-esteem, is this really true? If this was a court of law, could you really truly provide the real evidence? Would it really hold up? And if it doesn't, then why haven't you changed your mind? So just think about it. I'm Ben Fama Jr. This is Thinking Freely. Please subscribe if you haven't had a chance to subscribe. And if you have any questions, please hit me up. You can hit me up on Twitter at Ben Fama Jr. You can hit me up at Facebook, Ben Fama Jr. on my website, benfamajr.com. Send me a message if there's a video you'd like to see. I'd love to make it. Thank you.